Well, hello, folks. I'm L.A. Little, and this is your daily NeoTA wrap. We take a look at these markets. We do it from a neoclassical perspective each time, asking ourselves, what happened today? What does it tell us about the coming ones? Do the show 4 times a week, Monday through Thursday, broadcast out of 10 o'clock Eastern Time, archived on YouTube. It's under the channel L.A. Little. If you haven't subscribed, reach up on the right-hand side up there, subscribe. Anytime content's pushed, you'll be notified. And if you haven't tried out our services, take a look at what we offer. Just come up here, hit the Get Started button. That'll bring you into the offering. You can see, all the things that we do, the types of offerings we have. There's a lot of good stuff here, a lot of value to be had. So if you're interested in not so much just having somebody tell you what to do, but to show you how to do it, maybe you want to check us out. As far as what happened today, let's take a look at the numbers. It was another up day, another good day actually. Only thing that was going down was gold, a few of the commodities, but you actually saw some of the others flip back around, like the oil market flipped around today. But gold down. The DAX was up big. The CAX wasn't, but you had the DAX carrying it. You had PMI numbers coming out. They looked bad in Asia. They looked good in Europe. They looked good. Well, they looked okay here in the U.S. And up day. What can you say? It just keeps coming. Big move in the Russell, 2% compared to the other indexes, which is a good sign. That rotation, potentially, that's 2 out of 3 now, where the Russell has beat the other indexes recently. And so, you're seeing all the kinds of things you want to see. And that's, from a bullish perspective, that's a good thing. Let's take a look at the numbers. I'm going to pop over to the DAX to start with. And what we're going to just see here is the spike up. Didn't have any volume, but you did spike up. And if we pull this over, remember we were looking at it last night. This is over this swing point lows high, and now it's starting to stretch, and it's going after its breakdown bar. That number's 11.3. So you're trading at, what do you got here, 10,950, so you got about another 150 points to go. It looks to me like it's going to try to tag it. Every index seems to be tagging its critical point at this point. Hong Kong, last night, Asia was struggling. Hong Kong was also struggling. It looks like I don't have a good quote there, but it was down on the evening. Let's see if we have the Nikkei quote. See if we have a good quote on that one, and actually that one is, and that one fell back too. You can see the kind of action that was taking place in Asia. Let's see if Shanghai has a quote up from last night, and I guess they had 2 nights off there. I'll have to go back and look at that, but it was also down last night. Okay, flipping over to the U.S. So we had in these markets another day of up, and it's a stretched market, but it's a strong market. You've got people still wanting to get into this, and every little pullback keeps finding buyers. Today was no different. We talked about this last week, where every time you get a little pause, a little 2-day pullback is what it's been. Each one of those has led to another spike up in each of these cases, right? And those little pullbacks, spikes up, has just propelled this market all the way to the top side, and today was no different. And if you look at it on the weekly, it's over the breakdown bar now, or actually it's right at it, 2103.47. Yeah, it did get over 2104, so you're just slightly over the breakdown bar. And if you hold that, there's nothing else up above this on a weekly basis, just the highs, and that's just a matter of time, as it was for the NDX, which of course took out those highs today. It was going after them, gets over them, 46.94, 47.03, so you're over the highs, and nothing else, right? Nothing but good. And that run, by the way, that looked so extreme has actually just about finished at this point. You don't have very much more to go on that run, maybe a little bit more up here, but it's the majority is definitely done at this point. You got about another 1.5%, I think, to go on that move on the NDX. If we move over, take a look at the, let's see here, NASDAQ. Let's see what the NASDAQ looks like. I believe the NASDAQ also, like the S&P, gets over the breakdown bar. And we've got a bad quote there on the NASDAQ. We'll have to get that one fixed. It did get over the breakdown bar tonight. 50.92.69. I think it was up 70 today, getting over that price point. And going back to the S&P, the Russell. Let's grab the Russell. The Russell was the leader today on the upside. I don't know if you were noticing on all these charts, there was really not much volume today, but yet that didn't stop these markets from gravitating higher. Swing point high now is what this one's going after on a daily, and the breakdown bar as well. So you got 1193 over there, you got 1193 here. That seems to be the target, 1194 roughly, and you're about 8 points away. I wouldn't be surprised to see these things try to tag it tomorrow. At this point, folks, it just keeps grinding higher, and there still are no signs that it's going to stop. And so until you get some sort of signal, something that tells you this thing's going to turn, you just got to keep leaning with the wind, and the wind's blowing to the north. And if you're not leaning that direction, then you're fighting the wind, you're fighting the markets, and that's not where you want to be. Go with the easy trade. The easy trade is up. At some point it will change, but right now it still hasn't. If we move over to the sectors, you actually had some good movement there as well. And let me pop those up. In particular, I was showing members this week on the weekend broadcast that the biotechs and the healthcare was where you had underperformance, both on a longer term and in terms of the last month. Well, they're going to rotate to it. And why is that? Well, because it looks cheap, right? Every time you get something that looks cheap relative to everything else, and you have a bullish market going on, they're going to rotate that money. They're going to rotate it into everything that looks cheap. Once they're done with that, they're going to pull it right back out, and they're going to go back to the other stuff that they were in before. And so the money will simply just rotate over and over and over again. As long as the market is bullish, right, this money will just rotate. It'll come into one sector, out of it, drive them up, take it out, go into the one that's cheaper, drive it up, take it out, and it will continue that process. That's how a bull market moves. They call it the ebb and flow. The ebb is where it pulls back a little bit as money flows elsewhere, then it comes back and goes back into them. That's the IBB. If you had a breakout I saw on the real estates today, you actually had the SOX that was strong pretty much all day long. Across the board, there was really not much weakness out here today. It was pretty much green pasture everywhere you looked. And it looks to me like tomorrow you're going to see some more continuation of that, certainly to begin with. And then we'll see where it wants to go next. But for now, if you're not leaning long with this market, then you're really fighting the trend, and it's a strong trend right now. It will change like it always does at some point, but right now that's not the case, and that's not the case for the foreseeable future. So stay with the trend. That's it for tonight. Not much else to show you. Strong market, wants to head higher still, and we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. Have a good one. Thanks. Bye.